Hello. So, I'm sorry for this title that I haven't even put yet, but I do wanna. I did think of it. It could be a good title. But introversion and autism and neurodivergence in general are different things. They can coexist. It's not that one denies the other, or that you're either one or the other. But yeah, as you can see from the title, I guess that I wasn't just an introvert, but also, I mean, I haven't been diagnosed or anything with neurodivergence or autism or anything, or Asperger, but I have taken like some tests. Scooby, mettiti giù, relax giù. I have taken some tests online, and it they all showed like I have some tendency towards that, which is completely fine. It was actually great for me to find out, because I have so many questions answered from this. So, sorry, he wants the bowl, and so he will not rest. Relax, dopo gioco. No, no. No, gioco, dopo. No, 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 dopo. Adesso relax. Sorry. Even sneezing, like I've gotten to a point where I wasn't even able to sneeze because I was so, like, I don't know, anxious that something was gonna happen in the fraction of a second that I was gonna sneeze. So I don't know, it was so weird. Everything was so weird, and I've gotten to a point. So how did this all happen? It happened because I started taking a couple courses. I don't even know, out of nowhere, basically. Started taking a couple courses about autism, and the more I learned, the more I was like, oh yeah, I do that. And oh yeah, I have that. And not just autism, but neurodivergence in general. And so yeah, I got to research more and more, and then I did some tests that are not to be diagnosed or anything close to that, but just, you know, to have, I don't know, an idea. And then I've learned, or not learned, but I've heard about accommodations, like autism accommodations, and yeah, I can accommodate so many of the things that I have and that I struggle with, and I didn't even know that. My whole life, and I'm almost 30, like this year I'm turning 30, and for my whole life I thought that I was to blame for being like that. Like I was sort of choosing to be like, it's like when you're lazy, you know, it's something that it's like when someone tells you you're lazy, you get the message that it's something that you're actually actively choosing to do, to be lazy and to be like undisciplined, or my gosh, or whatever. And so I thought that I was doing those things, and I was actively choosing to be like that, which was really... Sorry, I'm gonna stop talking for a second because there's a car and it might stop here. Hopefully it doesn't. Still the same struggles. Okay. It's like I thought I was choosing to be like that, and to be so wrong with so many things, and to like be so depressed, and to be so introverted, and to be so obsessive and precise, and like a lot of the traits about my personality, how my real personality was, not my outside social personality, because I also found out that there's this thing called masking that girls do, or women do, more than men, apparently, in the neurodivergence field. And yeah, it sucks, because most of the times I don't even realize in the moment that I'm doing it. Oh, it means to mask, of course, your traits that are not aligned enough with social things. For example, I was really shy as a kid, and I've always gotten the message that you don't have to be. You have to be talkative enough, funny enough to entertain the people that you're with. Otherwise, that's going to be a threat. And it's still how I perceive it to this day, unfortunately. Social situations, which is what made me an introvert. I mean, that is a lot of pressure to be always in every social situation, to be entertaining the people that you're with, because of course every person is entertained by different kinds of humor and different topics and different things. So you got to know the most things you can and adapt to all of the people. It's a mess. It's a lot of work. And again, majority of the times I don't even realize that I do it in the moment, because it's so ingrained in my head. But I realize afterwards, which is good. I am starting to realize it sooner, afterwards, but sooner, rather than being paralyzed in bed or in the house, except for doggy walks, for days, and not knowing the reason why. Also, autistic burnout apparently is a thing. I'm not autistic diagnosed, or I don't know if I am, but there's this thing that's autistic burnout, and my lack of energy, constant lack of energy, is probably due to this, to spending all my energy to be someone that I'm not, or masking how I really am. Because again, going back to what I wanted to say, I would want to be shy and not talk and observe, because I love to observe, and I'm very I have a lot of attention to details. I don't know what's the adjective for that? Attentive to details? I don't know, I have that. Oh gosh. Sorry, my dog likes to prey on butterflies. Anyway, so to notice all the details, which is what my brain tends toward spontaneously, I have to observe a lot. And if I talk, I don't observe. And so yeah, I can't not observe. So I spend a lot of energy observing, and also on top of that, trying to not observe, because I need to be sociable or socially acceptable. And sorry, I gotta throw the ball. Qua, Scooby! Guarda! He's obsessed. He is like me. I don't know if there's such a thing as autism for dogs, but he's so sensitive. He is very psychotic. Like, he will go into psychosis with the ball. Like, he can go like about the repetitive stereo, I don't know how they're called in English, like repetitive acts, like this. He will go 100 times like this, and it's not good. Of course, we try to limit this behavior, but it's something that it's used to regulate. And I do this with my hair, or I always bite my inner mouth, I don't know. And that's like regulation, because how it works, like real easy and simple, neurodivergent brains, they don't filter out sensory informations that are around you that are not a threat, like rationally that they're not a threat, but so a neurotypical brain will filter them out. For example, in the city, every noise that's happening at all times, I know it's not a threat, but then if I had a neurotypical brain, my brain would filter it out, but it doesn't. For example, sounds, it's my thing. I suffer it so much, loud sounds and noises and all of that. And one interesting thing that I've heard is neurodivergent brain hears every sound that is hearable at the same volume. And I thought that was normal, but apparently it's not. Like, a neurotypical brain filters it out and lowers the volume of sounds that are not a threat. And it would be so much easier. Like, I've always struggled so much to walk in the city and talk with someone, because I had to, like, I've learned to just walk with AirPods in my ears. It's a bit easier, of course, but to just walk and kind of have being bombarded with just sounds. But if you have to also hear some, like, select manually the person's voice, ultimo, is so much harder. And then on top of that, you have to cognitively, of course, know what they're saying, understand it, reply, and all of these things. Finito gioco. Pausa adesso. Pausa. Relax. Sorry, we gotta do it in small sections. Relax adesso, poi dopo gioco ancora. Adesso un attimo, relax. Tranquillo. Dopo ancora. Dopo gioco. Okay, because it's also, like, it's windy, but it's not, it's a bit hot. Anyway, so that's how it works, part of how it works. So then a nervous system connected to a brain that does that will go into overload much more easily. And therefore it needs to regulate. So the repetitive behaviors, I don't know how they're called in English, but are to regulate. And I have a lot of them. I found out that I do them, like, I at least one the whole day, the whole time I'm awake. I do it. And this is why, this is the reason why. Anyway, I wanted to keep this short. All of this to say that a lot of things have happened. This whole thing was catalyzed by a really bad experience with a guy. I will not go into details, but I'll just tell you that it's 8 months later and I'm still not hooked up, fortunately, but I've been up until, I don't know, last week, basically. But no, I am realizing slowly but steadily and reprocessing and going back to, like, things from a new perspective. And it's been a weird thing, but I am aware of this whole thing happening, sort of observing it, which is nice, but also suffering in it, which is not nice. But I mean, they compensate each other, kind of. And so yeah, because with him I was so overloaded with sensory stuff, because I've dreamt about this guy for a year basically, and I don't know this person to this day, and I've made of him for a year. Oh Jesus Christ, sorry, the buzzing of bugs, oh, I hate it. Anyway, I've made him into the person that I like, of my dreams. I have all of the things that I love about a person, and I've put them into him basically. And so I thought I like literally loved him without knowing him. And that's why I was overloaded when I finally got to hang out with him. And this overload has made me unable to be my social self, which is how I found out that I have this other part. I've basically gotten in touch with this other part, and oh god, dog disappeared. And so yeah, I'll keep it short. I do want to try and talk to you more often, or start to talk to you again, because I loved it, and I think it can be helpful for me, but also for someone that, you know, has or is like this. Because in Italy, for example, if you are neurodivergent, you either are diagnosed neurodivergent and like need help basically, or you're neurotypical. While in reality, we're all in the middle of the two extremes, and we can function in the neurotypical world, but being neurodivergent and like very intelligent. I found out that I am, because it's a lot of work to be able to adapt to this while being like this. Anyway, there's a person coming. So yeah, I thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. It's up to me, of course, but I do hope that me will be able to do this again. And yeah, bye.